Well, okay, there we go. Microphone's on. Okay, so the final few parts are coming up. We are done with dates. I'm super duper duper ding diddly dong sad. We're past the part of the game that's fun and interesting. We are now at the Great Resolution. I'm just gonna get angrier from this point onward. There is very little chance that these endings are anywhere near what. Like I've said a lot of things, but I think that part of it is also kind of I have a different idea on what this needs to be than the creator. Let's not forget this. I don't think the AMA is any answer. I should quick check it real quick. Oh, oh, the answers are in. Um, how many pages are there? 9 pages. Whoa. Well, it's on the Discord. I'll put a link to it to whatever ability I can. I don't think I will be able to because I'd have to upload a file. I don't want to upload a file. I'll just link to the fucking chat. You can go download it. It's in the pins. But yeah, we're in the end game. I'll do the question video next time where I'll just go ahead and bark up a tree for a couple of minutes. But we're in the end game, and I don't. Let's just take a look. This video is probably not going to be much translation. Anyway, this is the part where Adine is actually declared dead. No one uses this. This variable goes completely unused. Here's a good thing. I understand that it makes sense to have this, but if nothing is done with this, don't use it. I think the only thing that uses it is the heads-up display, which presumably when it boots up loads the status of characters and uses that to determine stuff, but yeah. So Adine just is essentially killed at this point. Apparently Remy's good ending is also a means of prevention. It's interesting that here it's if Remy good ending is false, is instead of persistent. It's kind of an interesting glitch. So here Remy is declared dead on the condition that you haven't played the third one, because that's the logical one. And Remy dies here regardless of what happened, because he's alone. It's interesting that there is no for none. So if you don't do anything with Remy or with Bryce, they get to live. They apparently get a carte blanche in this situation. But what card do you get? Sebastian fails. So that's if you don't save Sebastian. Because, fun thing you probably didn't notice. Where does this stored? Probably here. Chapter 5, maybe? Heck, I did not know there were this many of these. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures going on there. Mostly people not being alive anymore. So the thing with Chapter 5 is... Oh, wow. I never noticed this. I never saw these in this contrast. So the first one immediately establishes there's a fucking Izumi. That's interesting. So it doesn't even try. Oh, cool. Because the moon is getting brighter because it's getting fuller. So yeah, wow, that thing moves. That thing hustles across the sky. So then we get, I assume, Reza at Chapter 2 for some reason. Then we get Maverick. Although the way that works makes it look like there's 2. Then you get Sebastian. I don't know why they picked Sebastian to go twice. So he's either dead in there or not. I gotta say, though, whoever made this, good job, because this looks really good. But yeah, Chapter 5 has an interesting little Sebastian, you know. So, if you get the true ending, of course, you get the true ending card. If the true ending is selectable, of course, you get the true ending card. If you've seen no endings, you get the conflict card. Where are the cards stored? Extra? Conflict. Does conflict show up before this? I don't know. Conflict. That makes sense. If you've never seen an ending, then naturally this is the big part. Like if you've not finished the game and know about the time looping stuff, this is like the spooky part. Although technically you already know because that one lady tells you all about it. So now it goes through all the endings. The only thing it seems to do is card hope displayed. Okay, so it just determines the cards. I don't care to look through this too much. So if you got Remy's good ending on this one, but you haven't played his 4th date? Oh, you have played it. So this is essentially you're going for an ending cards. I don't know what it's doing with these cards, with the hope. I guess hope is like the one where you get to save him. And otherwise it displays the card of the respective character. Lorem's card is just called Lorem because whoop! So, wait, what? You just get 15 evil points. There's no requirement. You just get 15 evil points. And for every bad status, you get 2. It takes off your investigation if your evil points are more than 30. So you just half of that is just irrelevant for some reason. That's evil. You get pride, and you're locked in evil ending, I assume. And otherwise, if nothing else happened, and you've just been picking your fucking nose for 4 chapters, your duty for you. If Sebastian saved is false. Wait, why does it have the chapter 5 shown twice? That's weird. Yeah, I think that's exactly the same, yeah, whatever. Wait, there was a Sebastian up here, wasn't there? Oh, these are all like the, okay. So, if Sebastian saved is false, that doesn't do anything. Why is this here? This doesn't change anything. Yeah, this seems to be exactly the same regardless. It might affect one of them. It's kind of weird that they all seem to have the same thing, but nothing seems to change. The numbers are all the same. The cards are all the same. Maybe there's a detail I wouldn't notice. But that's kind of weird. Oh, I see. Oh, I think I know what it's doing. Okay, so, in case you're not catching on, as I didn't catch on, it's actually using all of this to pan it. Like, every single step, it does a little bit of a pan, and then another bit of a pan. That's how it does all the cool... That's impressive. Like, you did some terrible stuff when it came to variables, but this is impressive. That you managed to figure this out, like... Considering the amount of technical know-how it seems to have is I think only the deepest secrets remain. I really want to just glance through this real fast, because we're not doing any work today. That's... just... Mr. Saunders! This is a Q&A. You're supposed to answer questions, not be like, oh, I'm so mysterious. You're not a GM. You don't get to do that. Mostly because a GM usually has to cough it off at some point. That's a cute one. Oh, the Zumi's all the same. Zumi... Okay, you can read through this and make it... Okay, so he talks about how Zumi's supposed to work. But yeah, like, the way Azumi works, there's Azumis from different timelines. There's a chance an Azumi just educates an Azumi, and then that one continues on, so it's very weird. Yeah, but if that's the case, then... That's interesting. That's an interesting question. And yeah, so this is about the unintended picture, which I think the whole freaking point with that statement, this picture, I like how it's called IR, Izumi Reza. I think the reason this picture exists, also, apparently the color of the hair was originally different. Mine might be older. But I like the idea that you can never access this. This exists. Like, someone took this picture, or some place this exists, but you can't access it. Makes sense. Because you're not in that fucking scene. You shouldn't be able to see it. You can't time travel. Like, even the flashbacks have some limitations to what they can show. It was an error, correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Okay, so that's the last name. No, of course they're not. No, of course they don't. Like, whatever company Reza worked for, it's gone, by the way. He takes his job. Yeah, I've already pointed this out. Like, he's a very serious boy. Oh, that's cute. I mean, that's not cute. That's, like, terrible, but it's like, oh, that's interesting. I don't want to click that. French, Remix. Well, that's literally explained in his original version, where he's probably French, or from a French-speaking country, because he speaks French a bunch. Russian. I mean, I sooner say it because she doesn't give a shit about the rules, but there's a lot of countries that don't give a shit about the rules in that way. Oh, that's cute. But I don't care about that. Oh, god damn it, I hate this about PDFs. For context. Oh, that's cute. That's actually neat. Like, you should do it. Okay, Fremi, Bryce is US. Of course he is. Wow. And Damien is German. I wouldn't have said it. Actually, that would explain that would make puts a bit of context on this, because I'm pretty sure Russia and Germany have a bit of a staring down over time. Even though the USSR is technically dissolved, it really hasn't. It's all paperwork, but nothing else. What? How does Reza even know he was in the past? Of what? Long enough to pass the quarantine checks. So at least a week, perhaps a month. I'd say that the safest system would probably be like a month of incubation, because there are very few diseases. So not that long. Like, he wasn't there a season. That'd be a little extreme. Like, I imagine that at some point they were like, ah, fuck it. We're just making this complicated. Oh! That's actually a great answer. That's great. Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one. Like, Damien is, like, under her... Yeah, that's a good one. That was my question, by the way. I think I asked another question, but that one didn't get answered. Yeah, yeah. That's a good one. The old name stuck much longer. It was made with a shoestring budget. I'm not going to dance around it. If I ever become rich and famous in the amount of time that Saunders still wants to do this, I'm the kind of person who's gonna dump buckets of money on stupid projects because I'm like, wee. Like, I'm gonna look at another game and I'm gonna be like, stupid furry game, and I just dump a bucket of money on it because that's what I gave this game a lot of money. Like, let's not dance around it. I paid at least 200 fucking euros to get my character in this. Like, that's me not even having, like, an actual job and that much disposable income. Imagine what I'm going to be like if I actually have money. Because I have nothing else to spend on. Like, what do I spend my money on? Okay, occasionally I need to buy a new computer, I guess. But I'm not expensive or fancy, or I have dates. Ugh. Oh, that's cute. And he scrapped dragon designs. This might be... I don't even know. No, no, no. This is someone else, which I pointed out. But my actual question was if Sebastian was going to have dates. Because there's a lot hinting that Sebastian would have been a backup character, which is weird because at the same time the game seems like it really was designed for 4 characters. Like, here's the thing. Every new character that's dateable gets a massive amount of extra art that has to be made. Like, big pictures, there's all the cards that need to work, there's all the logic in the background. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. It's entirely possible that he was already making some background code for, like, okay, if I want more characters, here's something to support it. That's high estimation because that, A, means that you know enough about software to know that shit's a bitch, which he doesn't know. If he does that, if he did that, if he actually made backup code and started thinking about putting Sebastian as a backup in case Lorm did something, or Goldkin decided to back out, I'll say, you know what, you fucked up the code, but if you actually thought about that ahead of time, I gotta admire your planning skills, because that is something no one ever thinks about. Okay, so, other fixer scrapped, actually. Yeah, Damien is kind of the interesting one. Because he's kind of a mix of a lot of weird things. Oh, he's a hunchback. Or something? I don't know. It would be. That's a weird fucking coat. Unfortunately, it's... Bah. Yeah. So, that's, hard. Hard as balls. If you're on an actual game engine, a little bit easier because the ability to use any sort of raycasting makes everything easier. But yeah, I'm surprised that, like, again, I'll applaud him for giving it a shot. But again, you gotta know your shit. This is the kind of stuff you really need more experience for. I'm not saying I could do it. I'm just saying you're trying to push what the engine is made to do. And once you're starting to push, you really need a successful game and have all this knowledge and go back in fresh. Like, you'd be surprised how much going fresh into something helps. Like, you're going to build everything differently and you're going to be like, okay, this works better and that works better. You'd be surprised. What made that first crowdfunding fail? Yeah. Like, that's, again, shoestring budget, but he actually... Like, I gotta say one thing about Saunders is what a stand-up guy that he actually went through with this. Like, damn. Ah, they shorted my question. Oh, but it really does feel like it. Although maybe I say that, but it's entirely possible that it was just smaller things, like at least references, or maybe he would have brought up, like the barbecue. I guess he would have brought up the barbecue. It's like, oh, I talked with Player about this, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And 4 side characters. Doodle or me. Yeah. A 5 for both. Huh. Yep. I mean, if you reach your goal and more and you're still unhappy, then no. I couldn't possibly choose. I can't imagine at this point. I pick Adina Foley because her date, it just has more quality to it, but... And she's also the only person that's not an asshole. Like, I can see... Wait a minute. Let's go back to the thing in a moment, but... Well, yeah, people, the merch. People, always bitching about the merch. These are nice questions. Okay, so back to this. Remy being French... I guess it's if he was still French, it would be a nice play on the stereotype because he's so like distant about it. But at the same time, it makes sense why he do what he did with his date. Like the allure of secret love. Anna being Russian makes sense because she's fucking insane and everything she does is mad. And you really gotta like that to get into it. I'm surprised that I guess. Where's Adine, though? Like, Adine must have shown up later. And if Adine did show up later and was made later, it's entirely plausible that because a lot of her stuff just feels better in strange ways. Probably because she's more grounded. Like, everyone else seems to have this elevated position of everything else and doesn't work that well. Damien being German, I don't see that coming back. But then again, I don't know the German stereotype too well. Bryce being U.S. American makes sense because he's such a fucking... I don't give a shit and you can't judge me. That's such an American way of looking at things. I mean... Say what you want about Tumblrites, but they're just that. They are as American as French pie. Which is American, because Americans are a whole bunch of European immigrants. Don't even fucking pretend you've got Aboriginal blood, because you don't. You might, but even they moved here later down the line. The Europeans are all migrants from Ethiopia. Let's not pretend. I mean, if anyone is the original inhabitants, it's the animals in the forests. They came here first. They got their claim. I don't want to... let's go on. Sound a little bit of the fireworks, makes sense. Okay, and that's where the actual date starts. It's already been 17 minutes, and I've done not a line! I feel good about myself, though. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Oh yeah, last night's, I imagine that some people are like, what was last night's thing we were like? Because yesterday we had a D&D session. Let's just say, they got some fun items and some loot. They got some stuff done. One of the guys basically blew up a classroom, so that was great. He's now chaotic neutral because you can't be chaotic good if you blow up a classroom. No one can prove what he did, though. So the whole party is kind of like out of character. They know what's going on, but in character, it's like they don't have no clue, so they can't accuse him. He then made a deal with the devil by accident and got himself a delicious sandwich. And I don't care if anyone is watching this. You're watching this right now, Komo. I know you're watching this, and I'm going to spoil it. Give yourself a minute break after I say spoiler so that you can skip it, unless you want to know. Because I can't blame you if you want to know. If you want to just a little bit want to know. Spoiler. If he eats a sandwich, he's going to get some fancy powers to turn into metal. Basically turn himself to metal, but he can't move those parts. He also gets elemental resistances, damage resistance, all kinds of stuff. So it's basically Statue Mario. And he also will become paranoid of doors, because he basically got blasted through it, and he has a demon rune on his hand. Now, I'm going to use that all the way. And then there's one more technical room left they have to do. They already opened the door so they can go to the boss whenever. But in that room, I put a couple of little toys. Little toys for all of them. So that they don't all feel... Because Komo got this gun. And essentially what this gun does is it just air blasts everything in front of you and cleans it up. It doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't stagger anyone. But you can shoot it at something and it cleans it. Because the whole place is built on illusions. Like, everything is, like, weird. There's a plate that if you put it over a surface and it covers it completely, it triples whatever energy you put on it. Like, it essentially allows you to hold a door easier. Which explains why, and there was a staff, which was supposed to give you +2 for 1 minute, but Komo gave it back. It was taken back. Let's not pretend that Komo was being nice about it. Oh man, like Komo knows how to get into trouble, which is kind of exciting. But on the other hand, he gets in trouble, but doesn't like prod it in an interesting fashion. It's kind of like someone who steps on all the landmines, but that doesn't do a kickflip while they're in the air. You know, that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, you're doing it, like you're giving me some material to work with, but at the same time, I'm not, you know, I mean. To be honest, it's actually a good way to flex to flex those muscles. Actually, it's a good thing. If anything, it's an exercise for me. I do like the magic items I'm going to give them. One of them is kind of cool. Will blow up in someone's face at some point. I'm not going to tell them what's going to blow up or how it's a positive weapon. They'll figure that out on their own. But I'm pretty sure that the soldier who loves her sword is going to be like, better sword. And that's the end of that. Although Komo might want it because it's covered in spooky curse runes. Another is a set of glasses. That they're not going to be great. Like, they're probably not going to proc that much, but they're basically, you get one roll with one person. And you just get to put your performance right on top. So essentially, you can just steamroll something. It's right next to a dude who's going to be like, all cryptic, and is going to lie to them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Lying things are always great. More importantly, there's one more thing, which is a little thing, because Xyla's been doing so fucking fine, I'm not going to give her anything major. This is for her, if anyone, because she loves to fucking rush around. Although I'm pretty sure Kobo's just going to take it. It is an anklet. And the anklet is something that I don't see people do out very often. Is the anklet, so if... how do I explain this? So say we got a grid like this, and this dude can move... What's this? This is like 15 feet. So if you end on someone's space... So if you move 30 feet and you stop on someone, like you're running down a straight hallway, there's a person at the 30 feet mark. So you can't move that far. You can only move 25 because you can't end in someone else's space. The special anklet lets you just warp an extra 5 feet. It's considered a guarded step, so it doesn't proc attack for opportunity. So if you know what you're doing, you can do some tricky stuff with that. It's one of those sneaky things that make people go, if you know what to do with it. And that's kind of the fun of it. Also, fucking shiny glasses. Who doesn't like those? Who doesn't like golden goggles? The glasses. Ah, man. Like, that sword's gonna be a great one. It's a gambit, but it's a good kind of gambit. Oh, man. I like how Komo said he's gonna try to gather up curses. Why would you? Like, that just means I'm gonna find some cool curses to throw on him. Heck, if anything. Ooh. You know, there's one thing I've been toying... Like, I've played around in my mind is, like, a witch who essentially specializes in curses. Like, their special powers, they just draw tiny curses on buildings or people. And the specification is what they do and who they affect. And they're minor, they're tiny, but you can learn eventually to draw a curse on someone. And if you're, like, there's also this trait called Living Curse, where you are basically semi-magical. And you can then store up curse points in your hero points and just draw a curse that just gives someone a heart attack instantaneously. That's awesome. That's something Komo should go after. If he really wants to start gathering curses, he needs to start following some magic school and specialize in curseology. I'll probably write up some rules. You can take that demon's curse on his hand and put it on something and just stamp it on people's faces. I don't know if it's going to do anything for him. I haven't decided what it really actually does. So far, it's a conduit for something. Like, it's going to light up when certain events are going to happen, but that's kind of it. I haven't really decided what it's going to do. On the plus side, there's a good chance that next session, even though I'm probably going to have to stop soon because I got work the next day because of weird scheduling stuff. The plus part of next weekend is that they got, like, again, they got that one room to do. And then they got the boss room, and then they can finally see the big surprise, the big hullabaloo. The boss fight's going to be something else, though. I made these fuckers to be annoying to deal with. They are unpleasant, they are not fun, and that's the point. So far their melees have been surprisingly easy. They've gotten hurt. I'm not going to say that they've gotten out scot-fucking-free. There's also that one part. Oh, no, wait, I forgot. They got one more fucking problem before they can get out. They're stuck in a staircase. So they're stuck in a staircase, and the way the staircase is designed, the way the original book said, is the staircase gives the like at the bottom of the staircase, it's like there's another hallway, there's another room. There's none. It's just a fucking flat wall, and it looks like it. Because the whole place is filled with illusions, and they're not like, wait, the sound doesn't come from behind the wall, it comes from in front of the wall, because you can't make sound come out of the wall without it sounding muffled. And they're not like, wait, what is this even here? They started shooting, and I'm like, it's a mining operation. Like, I'm giving them hints. It's like, if you shoot the wall, like, rocks fall down out of thin air. It's not an invisible wall. You just can't... It's not an invisible wall. Like, the wall, there's no invisible, like, structure in the way. It's just that everything you see is not there. Like, the wall itself is invisible, but oh man, that's just where language falls short, I feel. Like, they're not going to get out that way. If they're going to keep digging, they're just going to let the whole fucking swamp in and drown. I hope Komo's got some plans. He still has one axe, I think. So they have these magic axes +1, 1d6 +1, and they got an extra attack. +1s don't exist in Starfinder, but fuck you. And they can throw them as a grenade for 2d6 damage, because the enchantment is fragile and just explodes violently. It's also what he used to blow up a classroom. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get rid of a giant block that's just clogging up the stairway, but if those fuckers continue, I'm going to roll a fate check and see if they all drown from their foolishness. They're probably not gonna, because don't forget it's Starfinder, and they can stay in those suits for at least 24 hours, because the level is how many days you can sit in it before you run out of air, which is very generous. Like, holy shit, Starfinder is just terrible. It's really, it's 4E, like, taken to the extreme of, like, everyone gets to participate, everyone gets to have fun. I hate that. Like, I understand, like, okay, there's this thing that needs to happen, but get creative. Like, think up something else. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel kind of... Like, I know that knowledge checks are annoying, but it's not like this one's helping all that much. Oh, well. We'll see. Okay, I think I'm done for now. This was not much translation, but as I said, Chapter 5 isn't really a chapter. It's about 2 videos worth of just crap happening. Wait, what? I saw something. Oh, that's this. Wow. Yeah, like I was like, I just skip. Just don't fucking care. This is also greatly overselling what the game actually does. Like, beating the game really isn't that great. This I don't like. It's very strange. Like, System I know is kind of wall breaking, but System literally refers to the game by its title, which is Oh, this is a neutral ending, huh? Is Reza even alive in this? Oh, this is such a great ending. It's interesting that Reza knows this. So Reza apparently knows these in the past. Wow, this does not take long before it's just like, let's go. Oh, that's why. Because it immediately fractures. Because Chapter 5 is literally just, here's the day, now pick someone. So it selects who's selectable, huh? Okay. Okay. So next time, I guess we're doing the alone ending and all of Chapter 5, because frick it. No, actually, we're doing the answers thing first. What a series. What a series. And what a goddamn Starfinder campaign this is turning out to be. We got a psychopath on our team. We got a face who isn't facing enough. They keep splitting up, too. Like, I don't know why. They're like, let's split up, gang. And I'm like, you're not doing yourself a favor by consistently splitting up, you know. They're going to get a level up at the end of the boss fight. I'm just going to say, here's a package of experience points to have fun, level up. They're not going to get much. Level 4, I think, is like the most boring level in Starfinder ever. Level 3, you get your weapon specialization, and you get another feat. Level 4 is like, you've just gotten that whole fancy third level up, and now it's like, I think some spellcasters get some better spells. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I'm done. See you guys next time in Video Games, the Video Games. Yeah, I'm surprised Saunders has spoken up because he's been a bit of the silent type. I guess there's not much to talk about. Like, it's not as big as it sounds. It's not a Toby Fox situation. Although Toby Fox had a lot of, like, reputation beforehand. Let's not fool ourselves. Let us not kid ourselves.